Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Gonna be giving you my predictions for our game against Real Sociedad in the Europa League round of 32 second leg. So score prediction, I'm gonna go with 3-0 to Manchester United. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go with Marcus Rashford. And I think Daniel James will score. And I'm going to go with Anthony Martial. Basically, we are into the last 16 of the Europa League. We beat Real Sociedad 4-0 in the first leg. It was in Turin. The goals came from Bruno Fernandes, he scored 2, Marcus Rashford scored, and Daniel James scored. And it was a very, very good performance by Manchester United in the first leg. Real Sociedad, they're not a poor team, but they're not a brilliant team. They're a pretty good team. They're sitting, 5th in La Liga. Their current manager is Emmanuel Alguacil. They recently had a good win, Real Sociedad. They did win 4-0. I do know a few of their players. Obviously, they've got Adnan Januzaj. He's a former Man United player. Don't forget, he did say prior to the first leg that he's nothing to prove coming up against Man United. They've also got Carlos Fernandes. They brought him in back in January. He's actually out with injury at the moment. They've got David Silva. They got him on a free from Man City last year. They've got Monreal. They've got Normand. I think actually Normand's suspended for this game. They've got Roberto Lopez. So they are a few of Real Sociedad's players. We recently had a good win in the league. We beat Newcastle 3-1. Weren't the best of performances though, but it was just good to get back to winning ways in the Premier League, because prior to the Newcastle game, we'd only won 1 of our last 5 in the Premier League. And Solskjaer did say after that game against Newcastle that we are still in the title race despite the 10-point gap. He said the same thing after the 1-1 draw West Brom, that we are still in the title race. We're not going to win the league this season. Like I've already said, top 4 is our aim, and I can almost assure that we are going to finish in the top 4. But yeah, the Europa League is a priority for us because it is a chance of a trophy. We got to the Europa League semi-finals last season. We lost 2-1 to Sevilla. And we won the Europa League back in 2017 under the Jose Mourinho era. We beat Ajax in the final 2-0. Earlier on today, I give you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. Solskjaer did confirm that Donny van de Beek, Edison Cavani and Scott McTominay are still out, so they're not going to be available for this game. During the press conference as well, Solskjaer mentioned Dean Henderson and David De Gea. He also mentioned Marcus Rashford. He mentioned Amad Diallo, Traore and Shortire. I'd like to see them both start tomorrow. But Solskjaer said not so long ago that Amad Diallo, Traore and Shortire probably won't be starting, but he's confirmed that they are part of the squad. Shortire recently made his first team debut against Newcastle because he came on, and Amad Diallo Traore made his first team debut because he came on in the first leg against Real Sociedad and showed his tricks. And I said Amad Diallo Traore is going to be a good asset for the first team because he had been doing very well for the under-23s. And Solskjaer said after the first leg that Amad Diallo Traore could make his first start in the second leg. But we shall see anyway. He's confirmed that Hannibal Mejbri, if I pronounce his name correctly, is injured. Solskjaer also mentioned Erling Haaland in the press conference. Solskjaer said he still keeps in touch with Erling Haaland and he praised Erling Haaland. We know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would love to sign Erling Haaland. It would be good to see Solskjaer reunite with Erling Haaland, because Solskjaer knows the player well. Solskjaer was the one that gave Erling Haaland his debut at just the age of 16 at Molde. Sky Sports recently said that Borussia Dortmund will sell Haaland for £78 million in the summer. Minio Raiola, his agent, said that there's only 4 Premier League clubs that can afford Erling Haaland. So we face a potential transfer battle for him. But Solskjaer recently said that he's following Erling Haaland's progress because he did make a new Erling Haaland transfer admission. I think as well, Erling Haaland's demanding a £70 million a year contract to leave Dortmund. Back in December 2019, Solskjaer and Woodward went up to Norway to meet up with Erling Haaland to negotiate a possible move to Man United. Since Haaland's arrival at Dortmund, he has been a revelation. He's scored goals for fun. He's been at Dortmund now over a year. He does have a £68 million release clause, but that doesn't become active until next year. Dortmund only paid £17 million for him and he's got a contract with Dortmund until 2024. And still only young, got a lot of development in him. Solskjaer, as well in the press conference, gave us an update on Juan Mata. He said he's not surprised that Juan Mata is linked with a move away from the club. I heard that a few Italian clubs have been interested in him. I think a lot of United fans were expecting Mata to leave in the summer because Juan Mata's current contract expires in the summer. There is an option to trigger his contract for a further year. Juan Mata doesn't get in the team a lot now, but in the games he's played in this season, he's done well. Earlier on this season, Juan Mata rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Mata's been at the club now over 6 years. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. So there you go. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer must win a trophy as Man United manager to avoid the sack because we haven't won a trophy since 2017. And a club of our stature need to be winning trophies. Now our next league match is tough. We are away to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Now Chelsea have done very, very well under Thomas Tuchel. They are unbeaten so far under Thomas Tuchel. Chelsea appointed Thomas Tuchel in earlier on this season to replace Frank Lampard because Chelsea sacked Frank Lampard after just 18 months in charge. A lot of Chelsea fans didn't agree with the decision to sack Lampard. A lot of Chelsea fans believed that he should have been given more time. But Chelsea are known as a sacking football club because they've sacked a hell of a lot of managers. They sacked Lampard earlier on this season. They sacked Maurizio Sarri after just 1 season. Maurizio Sarri did win the Europa League with Chelsea and he also got them to the League Cup final. They sacked Antonio Conte and he won the Premier League with Chelsea. They also sacked Jose Mourinho. I think Mourinho endured 2 periods with Chelsea. They also sacked Rafa Benitez, they sacked Gus Higgin, they sacked Di Matteo, they sacked Scarada, they sacked Avram Grant, they sacked Villas-Boas. I think actually Chelsea won the Champions League under Villas-Boas. They sacked Carlo Ancelotti, and Carlo Ancelotti did well for Chelsea. And there's other managers probably there that I haven't mentioned. Frank Lampard last year made quite a few signings at Chelsea. Obviously he brought Hakim Ziyech in, he brought Timo Werner in, and Timo Werner hasn't done as good as I expected. He also brought Ben Chilwell in, he brought Kai Havertz in, he brought Milan Sarr in, he brought Thiago Silva in, and he also brought Mendy in. Chelsea must have spent, was it 300 or nearly £300 million last year. Chelsea have also loaned a lot of players out. Don't forget, a few years ago, they did have a transfer ban. I think Chelsea have got some good young players in their team. You know, they've obviously got that Reece James, who's a right back. They've got Callum Hudson-Odoi. They've got Tammy Abraham. They've got Mason Mount. They've got Christian Pulisic. They've got that Billy Gilmore. So they've got quite a few young players. But they've got some good players in general. You know, they've got N'Golo Kante. That's very, very good. Azpilicueta is quite good for them. I think Rudiger is a very, very good centre-half. You know, they've also got some poor players as well of Chelsea. You know, I don't really rate that Jorginho. I think Arrizabalaga is a very, very poor goalkeeper. I don't really rate Olivier Giroud. I don't really rate that Christensen either. So, there you go. You know, we drew with Chelsea earlier on this season, 0-0 at Old Trafford. We did beat them 3 times out of the 4 times we played them last season. We're beating them 2-0 at Stamford Bridge in the league last season. That was actually our first win at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League since 2012. We're beating them 2-1 at Stamford Bridge in the EFL Cup, and we're beating them 4-0 at Old Trafford on the opening day of last season. But yeah, Chelsea's going to be a tough test for us, and I said we've got to start beating the top 6 sides in the Premier League, because we've struggled against the top 6 sides in the Premier League this season. And people say you've got to beat the top 6 sides, or at least some of them, if you are to be genuine title contenders. After Chelsea, it's Crystal Palace, and then it's Man City. I'm expecting Man United to make signings in the summer transfer window. Like I've said to you, this year's summer transfer window is the biggest in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career. Now, our transfer budget has been revealed, and it's not what Man United fans expected. Said a few weeks ago that we are prepared to smash our transfer record in the summer, and Woodward set to hand Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a huge war chest to sign top players in all areas. Solskjaer recently confirmed that he's got the backing of the owners to get the players that he wants in. I'm expecting us to make around 2, 3, maybe even 4 signings in the summer transfer window, because it was a disappointing January transfer window for us. We only saw one arrival, and that was Amad Diallo Traore. But Solskjaer did say a few times during the January transfer window that he wasn't expecting any signings. we was focusing a lot more on the outgoings in the January transfer window rather than the incomings. The summer transfer window of this year will be Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. So far he's enjoyed 4 transfer windows and he's spent over £200 million. He has made good signings, but as yet he's not got all the players that he wanted to recommend in. And in that aspect, the blame stems from the board. You know, because I don't think the board have backed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough so far, but I'm expecting the board to back him in the summer transfer window. Like I've just updated you recently, Solskjaer must sell to buy. And I think a few players are going to leave Man United in the summer transfer window. Like I've said, there's a good chance Mata will go. We should trigger that 1-year extension so we can obviously cash in for him and not let him go on a free. Martial, I think we should sell him in the summer because he doesn't have a long-term future with Man United. If we sell Martial in the summer, I think we can get around £30 million. You know, could sell Pogba in the summer. I think we can get from between £60 to £70 million for him. We've revealed our asking price, it's £100 million, but we won't get £100 million. So say we got 70 for Pogba and 30 for Martial, that's £100 million there. So that helps us with our rebuilding process. Lindelof, you know, if we sell him in the summer, I think we can get around £30 million for him. Phil Jones, maybe between 10 to 15 million for him. So that'd be 115 million there. I'm expecting us to offload Romero. There's obviously been rumours as well of Tuanzebe going out on loan. If we sell De Gea in the summer, I think we can get from between 50 to 60 million pounds for him. So that's nearly 200 million pounds there. I've calculated. And you know, De Gea could be sold in the summer because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has already warned David De Gea that his number 1 jersey is under threat. And Paul Scholes recently said that De Gea is becoming a real problem for Man United. Like I said, he's going to remain our number 1 for at least this season. You know, this is De Gea's 10th season at Man United. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. He has been a long servant. And it's actually said that we're looking at Donnarumma from AC Milan as a possible replacement for De Gea. A few years ago, De Gea was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world. And a few years ago, we'd got from between 90 and 100 million pounds for him. But in the last couple of years, he's been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. And it recently said that Solskjaer's prepared to sell De Gea or Dean Henderson in the summer. And if Dean Henderson was sold this summer, you know, we'd probably get around £40 million for him. That's what we want. Dean Henderson has threatened to quit Man United if he's not assured the number 1 role. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has admitted already that it's becoming more and more difficult to leave Dean Henderson out of the side because Dean Henderson has done well in the games he's played in this season, and Solskjaer has been advised to give Dean Henderson a running goal. He's reliable enough now to become our number 1 because he enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. Before the start of this season, Dean Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so he committed his future with the club. Sky Sports have said today that Tottenham and Dortmund are leading the race for Dean Henderson. Chelsea and West Ham have also been interested in him. But like I say, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. Like I updated you on my last video, we are unwilling to meet Jules Koundé's £68 million release clause, but we are still interested in him. He says we are prepared to pay £61 million for Koundé. And it recently said we are considered the favourites to sign him. And he is our top centre-back target. Jules Koundé's performances for Sevilla have been outstanding. He's made 70 odd appearances for them. He's got a contract with Sevilla till 2024. Sevilla paid just £22 million for him from Bordeaux in the summer of 2019. And he's been at Sevilla now almost 2 years. He's only the age of 22. Do you think he'd go well alongside Harry Maguire in our back line? The Athletic have recently said that Solskjaer has a 4-man centre-back shortlist. The two priorities is a centre-back and a forward. I think Solskjaer said he wants around 3 summer signings. You know the news on Jadon Sancho. Sports Build have said that we are still interested in Sancho. The Athletic recently said that we've paused our transfer pursuit of Sancho due to the progress of Mason Greenwood and Mason Greenwood's new contract. So what we're saying is that, a right winger is no longer a priority. Sancho is available for a reduced fee this summer. The other week, £60 million was quoted, and it also said we believe we can get him for just £50 million, which is a bargain. Dortmund face a summer of transfer exits. They could sell up to 8 players this summer to raise funds. Bild said earlier on this season that Dortmund reduced their asking price for Sancho to £88 million. So they're not £20 million off, because last summer Jadon Sancho was our number 1 priority target, but Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million, and we was not willing to meet that valuation. Fabrizio Romano, who is a very reliable Italian journalist, he's spoken a lot about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga, and so too has Bill's Christian Falk. But he said a few times last summer that the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and even a contract had been agreed. Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. And Sancho made an admission earlier on this season saying that he has enjoyed a difficult season at Dortmund. But analysing the vast majority of his career, he has been very, very consistent. This is Jadon Sancho's 4th season at Dortmund. He's got a contract with them till 2023. Dortmund paid just £8 million for him from Man City. Like I said, in regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think he's going to be given at least another season at the football club. This is his 2nd full season at the moment. I don't know if Solskjaer is the long-term manager for Man United. Time will tell. Obviously we've enjoyed bad periods under Ole, where he's been close to getting sacked, but we've also enjoyed good periods under him. Solskjaer's been criticised a lot as Manchester United manager, but when we have been inconsistent, some of the blame stemmed from him, but not all of the blame stems from him. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will sign a new contract at Man United at the end of the season. He's into the final 18 months of his current contract now. Solskjaer has been Man United manager now over 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give Solskjaer the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. Solskjaer did well last season in his first full season at the club. He got us to 3 semi-finals, got us qualification for the Champions League, and he got us 3rd. You know, this season got us to the EFL Cup semi-final, lost to Man City. He's got us to the FA Cup quarter-finals. It's going to be a tough game against Leicester. And he's also got us to the Europa League last 16. To his credit, he's got rid of a lot of the deadwood as well since he got recommended in. We've got a fantastic away record in the Premier League. We haven't lost away from home in the Premier League for over a year. We've been far better away from home than we have been at home. We've won more games at home recently, but if you've noticed, all our defeats have come at Old Trafford this season. But reflecting now on Solskjaer's been at the club, you know, he's gained managerial experience and he's learned quite a bit on the job. You know, Solskjaer's tried a few different things at the club. You know, he's like tried different formations and that. Rotated the squad. I think Solskjaer needs to identify his best 11 still, because I don't think he knows his best 11. Like I've said, he's got to give Donny van der Beek more opportunities. So there you go. But whether Solskjaer succeeds as Man United manager or not, I'll still always adore him because he's a club legend at the end of the day. You know, Solskjaer was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. And I think Solskjaer's decision making has been good in some games, but it's been poor in other games. So his decision making needs to be good persistently. But I've got to say, Solskjaer is the best manager since Ferguson. I can assure he was a much better manager than David Moyes was. And like I've said, we've got some good players. And our current squad is good enough to finish at least in the top 4. It really, really is. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop me comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.